Bitcoin about to break that 106K sell wall, guys. We're about to get this live stream started soon here, but I'm waiting for a few more people to join. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Don't forget to hit that like button. We're about to get started soon here, guys. The more likes, the more people come join. We're gonna get started here soon. All right. Let's see. Well, don't forget to also come and join the Meet Damien Twitter here. Alright, let's see. I want to look at the liquidation heat map. Get that ready to go. Alright, I think I'm ready to get started here. Yeah, we'll leave the music a little bit good for now. Camera good. Alright. Welcome, guys, to the Meet Damien channel. I am Damien, and wow, look at the Bitcoin price right now at $105,766. Okay, most cryptocurrencies are in the green. Looks like most of them are up like at least 3%. Some of them up higher than that. We got virtuals over here up 23% today. AI16Z up 13%. We'll get into it. But Bitcoin at a very crucial level, with it being at $105,800. Okay, this level is a level that's high enough to beat where we were at earlier this week when we saw Bitcoin at $105,787 on Monday, May 12th. That's really good to see. Bitcoin, right? Can it break this $106,000 sell wall? And then if it does break that $106,000 sell wall, where can we go after that? Now, I do see I got JB in the chat here. Let's see, somewhere up there for sure. Are you asking me about New York and Boston? I don't know what that's all about. But we're over here talking about Bitcoin and crypto right now, so let's get into it. Yeah, we're looking at Bitcoin. Let's see, did Bitcoin get to 106K today? It got really close. It got to 105,950 on Coinbase exchange here. Okay, I already marked off the 106K sell wall here with this red line. Okay, and then I also marked off another red line here below us at $101,450 Bitcoin. Those numbers were pretty important this week because Bitcoin was getting support at 101,400. It kept defending that level, and we were kind of squeezed in between these two levels, between $101,000 Bitcoin and $105,000 Bitcoin, and it was getting very frustrating for a lot of day traders out there like myself, and you know, people trying to figure out, are we going long, are we going to go short Bitcoin? And it looks like the shorts are now getting blown out of the water right now. We got $105,900 Bitcoin right now, and it's threatening to go to 106K. And once we get past 106K, I do have a Fibonacci analysis that measured this impulse move that we had from earlier this week. It's showing that, you know, measuring from like 94,000 up to $105,000, we have a Fibonacci level here of 1.618 level. We could see $113,700 Bitcoin in the near future here. So keep that number in mind. We might actually blow past the all-time high. The all-time high for Bitcoin, I believe, was like January 20th earlier this year, where we saw Bitcoin get up to like $109,358. Okay. I think that can be beaten this week if we continue this bullish momentum with Bitcoin. Now, let me go ahead and get rid of some of these indicators here. We're just going to look at a normal naked chart right now, okay? All right, so this is what some of your charts might look like if you guys aren't using the indicators that I'm using, okay? Nothing wrong with not having these indicators, but I feel like this kind of cleans things up. And I'm going to get rid of this $101,000 price level, and we just got to get past this 106K sell wall, and like I said, we can see Bitcoin go up to probably $113,000, and then I know some of you guys want to see Bitcoin go higher than that. There is a 2618 level here that says we could see $125,000 Bitcoin, right? So that could be your upside targets. And then what I wanted to show you guys here on the monthly time frame, as I start to adjust the chart here. Let me get rid of some of this old chart work here. We don't need that no more. Oh shit, I got rid of the sell wall. My bad. Let me take that back. Okay. I'm trying to get rid of this Fibonacci. Where is this Fibonacci. Yeah, can you get rid of that? Yep, alright. And then I'll even get rid of this one too. Okay, so what I wanted to show you guys here that got me a little bit excited to see that I feel like not too many people are paying attention to is on the monthly chart, okay? So every candle that you see here is representing a month, okay? This was the month of May, the month of April. We had the bad months in February and March, as you guys all know, okay? Where Bitcoin had a pretty steep correction. What I want to show you guys here, I want to show you guys an indicator here, okay, called the stochastic RSI. This is the stochastic RSI, which is similar to the RSI, but it measures things in a unique way. But what I wanted to show you guys here with stochastic RSI is that we are very low on the stochastic RSI for the monthly time frame here, okay? We have like a reading here about 32.22 is what I'm reading. All right, we haven't seen a low stochastic like that on the monthly time frame since February of 2023, and that was some pretty good, you know, price action for Bitcoin. As we all know, Bitcoin went higher than where it was in February 2023. Okay, this stochastic RSI being so low leads me to believe that there is a lot of room, a lot of rocket fuel in the tank for Bitcoin to go to higher prices here. And I feel like not too many people are paying attention to that, and I wanted to bring that to your guys' attention here, that Bitcoin can go to higher prices here. Okay, yeah, JB's asking me here in the YouTube live stream. He's asking me about my accent. Yeah, I have a Boston accent. Or that's the area that I'm living there. So if you hear an accent, that's it's probably a mixture between Boston and New York, because I grew up in Rhode Island. Okay, so like in between Boston and New York is where my accent got mixed up. But I lived in Florida for a little bit, and I also lived in Maryland as well. So I don't know if my accent got a little bit mixed up with those people, but it's probably, yeah, you're right about being in New York and Boston. That's where my accent comes from. But yeah, let's get back into Bitcoin here. Let's see, do I have any requests here? Scott is saying, why did it shoot up today? You're asking why did Bitcoin shoot up today? Because we're getting some liquidations from short sellers that are getting blown out of the water. We're gonna take a look at the liquidation heat map so you guys can see like how these shorts are getting blown out of the water right now. And then I see Zandy is talking about what is RSI. RSI in stock market trading world, for those who trade on the charts like we do here, RSI just stands for Relative Strength Index, and it just measures how strong or how weak an asset is. Okay, and right now, you know, Bitcoin is actually considered weak right now. It's not even strong on the RSI, so it means that, you know, Bitcoin could still go to higher prices here before it's considered overbought. Okay, right now Bitcoin is actually considered oversold, and we're near all-time highs, and Bitcoin is considered oversold, at least on the stochastic RSI. So that's very interesting information that I've seen on the chart so far, at least on the monthly chart. It's not like that on other time frames, but these higher time frames, the monthly chart, that's a pretty big deal for you to have a low stochastic and also be near your all-time high. That's a pretty big deal. It means like we're probably gonna see some ridiculous prices for Bitcoin later on this year, and it might be starting. We might be starting the explosive move right now on Bitcoin. So that's why I'm very excited for all you guys, all you cryptocurrency investors out there, including myself. And yeah, let's look at the liquidation heat map here real quick. This thing is kind of loading on me. It's being a pain in the butt. Let's see if yeah, here if it comes out. So we're looking at the liquidation heat map. This is data coming from Binance, the largest cryptocurrency exchange. So this is pretty good data to have. And you'll see here, we're just looking at the 24-hour time frame here. And we have here some liquidations, possible levels where short sellers are going to get blown out. We do have a little bit of yellow here that shows that, you know, there's about $50 million of shorts that are going to probably get liquidated at $106,300. That would be some of the rocket fuel that we need to lift Bitcoin to higher prices. We also do have below us, there is some leverage long, some day traders that will get destroyed if Bitcoin goes back to $104,258 at this point. There's about $55 million worth of liquidation leverage at that level. And then also if Bitcoin comes down to $102,000, if you're able to see that, this yellow area, there's about $62 million of longs that could get liquidated if Bitcoin comes down to $102,000. So we're not quite out of the park yet. Bitcoin could still come down and it would still wipe out some of these longs that have placed their stop losses at $102,000, $103,000 Bitcoin. But there's also some shorts here that could also get liquidated if we go past $106,000. And then there's not really that much liquidity above, okay? So that's just something to keep in mind, that we could get this launch up in the higher prices, and it could happen later on today or tonight or going into tomorrow. And you know what? Just looking at the macro picture, whether you're a fan of Donald Trump or not, or the way he's doing things, all it takes is another trade deal with like Japan or India, in my opinion, to like launch cryptocurrencies higher and launch the stock market higher. That would be a good bit of news that the markets would like to see, and we could end up going to higher prices. Now, Kirk Southern is asking me what website is that I use to go onto the heat map. So the website that I use is CoinGlass. Okay, I don't know if you're able to see that right here. CoinGlass CoinGlass right over here is the website that I use to find out the liquidation heat map. Okay. Since I'm in here and we're talking about that, let's take a look at liquidation here. See what's going on here. So let's see who's getting wrecked right now. Okay. They even say REKT for wrecked. Okay. So in the last hour, the shorts, people who were short selling Bitcoin got wrecked. $13 million of shorts just literally got destroyed right now. Okay, that's why we're going up on price, is because the shorts are getting stopped out. They're being forced to buy Bitcoin right now. The shorts are getting forced to buy Bitcoin, and that's also sending the price of Bitcoin up as well. In the last 4 hours, the shorts are getting their butts handed to them. About $87 million of shorts just got liquidated, compared to like only $8 million of longs got liquidated. So the bulls are winning right now in Bitcoin world. And in the last 24 hours, about $40 million of longs got liquidated, and then about $148 million of shorts got liquidated. So this is good. This means that we are going higher in price, and the shorts are getting their butts handed to them. And this is what it's looking like so far on the liquidation heat map on CoinGlass. Okay, let's get back into looking at Bitcoin here. And I don't know, let's see, do I have any requests? I appreciate the follows here. Do I have any requests? Let's see. We'll look at some of the other cryptocurrencies. We'll start with the high market cap cryptocurrencies. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys hitting that like button. When you hit that like button, it allows more people to come into the live stream, and it allows me to help out some more people, you know, learn a thing or two about trading cryptocurrencies, where we can learn about the RSI and what the RSI stands for, and such things, what the liquidation heat map is, and where to look for the liquidation heat map. So yeah, go ahead and hit that like button, because we're out here trying to help out some other people besides ourselves here. Okay, appreciate you guys hitting that like button. Yeah, so anyways, let's see, do I have another question here? Oh, I know you tried to scalp and you got smoked. Oh damn, Kirk, are you a day trader, Kirk? Are you trading with leverage, and did you short sell some crypto? Nurse to Digital World says you really want to learn. That's what we're here for. We're trying to learn about cryptocurrencies and how to read charts here. Okay, I'm trying to keep it simple for you guys because I feel like I got some new people here. But I will start putting some of the indicators on here to look at some of these cryptos. But I'm liking what I'm seeing with Bitcoin. And then somebody said, what do I see the price at the end of the month for Bitcoin? I see it higher than where it is right now. Okay, just the way the bullish momentum has been going. We really want to see Bitcoin get above $105,800 is my line in the sand. Only because, we saw Bitcoin at 105,000. Let me go into the daily chart here. We saw Bitcoin, as I zoom in here, at 105,787 on Monday. We want to stay above that, okay? Because that's going to look really good on the weekly candle here. It's going to be a really good close to be closing above $105,800. And it's going to lead me to believe that we could go to higher prices if we just stay where we're at right now, or even continue going higher. Let's look at the weekly chart on Bitcoin. We're looking at the weekly candles. And even though it was kind of dramatic earlier this week, we still have a green candle for the weekly candle here on Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been winning ever since the beginning of April. It's just been green, 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 green. Higher prices, and people haven't really been getting a chance to buy corrections here because there really hasn't been a correction. We've actually had sideways action on the weekly time frame here, where Bitcoin like takes a breather 1 week, and that's like the only time you can actually buy relatively cheap Bitcoin is when Bitcoin is going sideways, because Bitcoin isn't really going down right now. It's been like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks of positive price action for Bitcoin. After we had such, I mean, this is a relief to everybody that got beaten down in January, February, and March. We finally recovering on Bitcoin here. I know some of these altcoins haven't really been doing a recovery yet. But I think that's coming up, especially if Bitcoin goes to all-time highs. Some of these Bitcoin investors, these OGs that have been in Bitcoin for a while, they're going to start pouring their profits, some of their money, into some of these altcoins. So you can probably see an altcoin season coming up if Bitcoin just continues going up to 106K and higher prices here. So yeah, I as far as the price, I think, I mean, we covered it early in the live stream here. Let me go back in the daily time frame here. I'll do a quick Fibonacci analysis to give you an idea of like where prices could go. We're gonna look at the Fib extension levels to see like how high Bitcoin could possibly go. So measuring from like 105,700 all the way down to like, I think like 74,400 was where Bitcoin was at back in April. You got a 1618 that says we could see $125,000 Bitcoin. Okay. $125,000 Bitcoin could be coming up on deck. Could that happen later on this month? I mean, possibly if we get, more trade deals and more positive news. If the Federal Reserve starts hinting that they're going to lower interest rates, then yeah, $125,000 Bitcoin could happen by the end of May. Okay. Another price target that we have here is $156,000 Bitcoin, and that's with the 2618 Fibonacci extension level here. And then let's see. Let me go ahead and turn on this other indicator. Some of you might be familiar with it, but there's an indicator called a pi cycle indicator. All right, it lets you know where Bitcoin could possibly go in the future here. And this pi cycle indicator, this green line, is showing Bitcoin could get up to $159,000 at some point in the near future here. Okay, we would need Bitcoin to get up to that green line, that $159,000, for it to be considered oversold. I mean, overbought. We need Bitcoin to get up to $159,000 before we can consider it overbought on the pi cycle indicator here. And this pi cycle indicator is very important indicator. You can see it has a green line and an orange line here. Okay. When the orange line touches the green line, that's usually the top of Bitcoin for the cycle. So like back here in April 2021, we actually saw the pi cycle indicator, actually the orange line touched the green line. And that was actually a good time to sell your Bitcoin and get out of the market, because we had a pretty bad summer in 2021 where Bitcoin dropped like almost 50% after topping out in April of 2021. Some of you might be familiar with that. And then, we did, by the grace of God or whatever you believe in, we seen Bitcoin climb up and actually create another new all-time high in like November of 2021, which some might say was a fluke, at least on the pi cycle indicator. But yeah, you can see that Bitcoin wasn't able to get back up to the green line again like it did here in April of 2021, and that was basically the top for Bitcoin at that time. Okay, and then of course Bitcoin dropped down in 2022. Some of y'all might be familiar with that. It kind of hugged and stayed at the orange line for the most part. But you can see that, in 2023, Bitcoin started rising up, and then Bitcoin actually touched the green line on the Pi cycle indicator, and that was a local top. Bitcoin needed to chill out after it got up to like, this is like back in March of 2024 when Bitcoin got up to like $73,000. It was above the green line on the Pi cycle indicator. So in that case, Bitcoin had to go sideways after doing that. Okay. But now, let me just get rid of this indicator here. Now we see Bitcoin is going along for the ride here, getting above the orange line, and it's trying to get back to that green line again on the Pi cycle indicator here. And we got a lot of room to the upside. We could see Bitcoin go to $160,000 according to this Pi cycle indicator before Bitcoin is considered, overbought. So we almost got like a 50% gain on Bitcoin. Yeah. Yeah, so the name of that green and yellow line is this is the Pi cycle indicator. You can look it up. You can do a Google search about it on like how they measure the Pi cycle indicator. But this is something that's only specific to Bitcoin, and you have to do it on the daily time frame, because you're not going to be able to do this with like another cryptocurrency or stock. This is just a indicator that somebody came up with that is very, very accurate as far as predicting the tops for Bitcoin. Going back here in 2017, you can see like the same thing happened in 2017 going into 2018, where we saw, when Bitcoin got up to like $19,000, right? This Pi cycle indicator, as I zoom in, this was so exponential. This is exponential price action back in 2017, but the orange line finally caught up to the green line in like December of 2017, and that was actually the top of Bitcoin was December of 2017. Okay, and this thing usually predicts the top within a few days of the top of Bitcoin. Okay, so very helpful indicator. It's not it's not going to predict the exact day, but it usually predicts it within that week that Bitcoin is at the top. And right now, going back to where we are right now, okay, we're not even close to the top because we have to get up to that green line on the Pi cycle indicator before we can even say Bitcoin is topping out. So that's my good bit of news to get you guys excited. And for those who are worried about buying the top here on Bitcoin, or Bitcoin might be overpriced, according to the Pi cycle indicator, Bitcoin's not overpriced. Okay, Bitcoin's not overbought. And then if I go into the monthly time frame, like I was talking about earlier on the chart here, the stochastic RSI is very low, and we're like at all-time highs on Bitcoin. So like the stochastic RSI, if this thing was high, on the stochastics, okay, then I would be concerned that we might be overbought on Bitcoin. But the stochastic RSI is actually saying we're oversold on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is like right near its all-time high of like $109,000. So that's very, very interesting to see on the charts here, especially on a monthly time frame, which is a very significant time frame to be on. That's a pretty big effing deal for you to have a low stochastic RSI on the monthly time frame and then be near all-time highs. It means that we're probably going to go into price discovery mode, and we're probably going to see $100,000 Bitcoin be like the low water mark, and we're probably going to see maybe $150,000 Bitcoin in the future, and who knows, maybe $200,000 Bitcoin in the future. Okay. But yeah, let's. I think we talked a lot about Bitcoin. I'm glad. I was able to give you guys a thorough analysis there on Bitcoin. Max Payne saying that $110,000 Bitcoin would be awesome. Yep, I agree. Kirk saying you made a good amount of money on the way up. I'm glad to hear that. Okay. You did a 40x on Axiom. That's interesting. And then I got a request here for, I think, Pudgy Penguin. Okay, I guess we can look at that one. Yeah, let's get into it here. I guess I'll look up Pudgy Penguin, which I believe is a meme coin here. So yeah, let's get into it. We'll look at something else besides Bitcoin, right? Yeah. All right. And I'll go into the daily time frame here. I'll get rid of the pi signal indicator. We don't need that because it doesn't apply to anything but Bitcoin. Okay. Looks like I have some previous chart work here on Pudgy Penguin. Looks like we lost this this uptrend that we were in on Pudgy Penguin. Doesn't mean that we can't continue going up, but that was pretty important for us to maintain if we were going to continue being bullish on Pudgy. Let me go into my normal indicators here. Get some more indicators to show what might be going on here. So I have this white line here. This 21 EMA is a line that the Pudgy Penguin is going to stay at for the most part. When the price gets a little bit too far above the white line, it will start going sideways. As you can see, it did that in early May before it catches a ride again with the white line, and then it gets away from it, and then it continues going sideways until it catches up. Looks like we just caught up to the white line. So if Bitcoin continues being bullish, I'm expecting another liftoff, and I'm expecting this thing to go to higher prices from where we are right now. The RSI, Relative Strength Index, Relative Strength Indicator, is showing that RSI is at 57, so it does have some a little bit of rocket fuel. It's not considered overbought yet, so we could go to higher prices on Pudgy Penguin just looking at the RSI. Now looking at the stochastic RSI, we are also very low on the daily time frame here on Pudgy Penguin, so that leads me to believe that this thing is ready and primed to go to higher prices, especially if Bitcoin is going to go to higher prices here. Okay. Let me go ahead and do a quick Fibonacci analysis here, and we can figure out how high it could possibly go and how low it could go if it continues going to lower prices here. But I think you probably want to see the bullish case first, so let's go ahead and look at that. The bullish case is that the 1618 says that Pudgy Penguin could get up to about 2.5 cents, which I believe would be almost like a double from where you are right now, because Pudgy Penguin's at like 0.013 cents, up 9% today. Okay, if Pudgy Penguins does for some reason come down here and gets a little bit more of a correction here, you could see it try to come down to the 0.382 retracement level here at about 0.009 pennies. And then you got the 0.236 level here that says you could see Pudgy Penguins come down to 0.0007 pennies for a deeper retracement. But I would just be putting in your buy orders in here to see if you can scoop up some cheap Pudgy Penguins. But I don't know if that's going to happen, because if Bitcoin becomes bullish, then the lowest price might be right now on Pudgy Penguin. Okay. All right. Now I got somebody requesting Solana and Polkadot. Okay. All right. Well, we'll do Polkadot first, because that one came in first in order here, and then we'll look at Solana. Let me just write these down now, so I know which one we did. And Solana. Okay. All right. Appreciate the request. Don't be shy, guys. Go ahead and put in a request for your favorite cryptocurrency, and we'll take a look at it on the chart, see where it could go next. Right now, we're going to be looking at Polkadot. Let's see, .USD. And, all right. Here we are looking at Polkadot on Coinbase Exchange. And we got DOT up slightly a little bit, up for 4.25% today, trading at $4.81. Looks like I got some previous chart work here. I had a red line here. I believe I wanted to see Polkadot get above $4.80. We're kind of currently trading at that right now. Okay. Let me go get rid of that line so it's not confusing you guys here. We are looking at the moving averages here on Polkadot, and it seems like on the daily time frame here, Polkadot should be getting support. If it does come down to lower levels here, it should be getting some support at like $4.50 and $4.35 with a 50-day moving average is sitting at, that green line that I got right here. We would want to see Polkadot, if we're going to be bullish, we want to see it get above this 100-day moving average at $5.08. But then also we want to see it get above that 200-day moving average at $5.60. And once you get past $5.60, where could Polkadot go? I'll have to do a quick Fibonacci analysis to see what we can do here with Polkadot. But it looks like you have a 1618 that says Polkadot should be a $6.29 cryptocurrency. And then you got the 2618 saying we could see a $7 Polkadot. And I believe that is like almost the same prices that people were getting Polkadot back in January. Yeah, so I would probably start taking profit at like $7 or even $6 on Polkadot. Okay. But yeah, that's my analysis so far on Polkadot. Let's look at Solana. Solana USD. Let's take a look at on Binance chart. We got Solana currently trading at $174.30, up about 5% today. And let's see. Looks like Solana on the daily time frame here getting support off the 100-day moving average. For those that use moving averages here, $168 needs to be the support level for Solana, and it seems like we're above it right now. Now Solana might get a little bit of resistance from this 200-day moving average sitting at about $181, that red line right there. Okay, we want to see Solana get above that line to continue being bullish, and I think we could see Solana go to higher prices from there, because RSI is at a modest 62, so it's not even overbought yet. Looking at the MACD, you have a little bit of selling pressure from these red candles here, but this could easily flip back to buying pressure with green candles again, like we've seen in the last few weeks here on Solana. And then also here, the stochastic RSI is also pretty low on Solana, even though Solana is making higher lows and higher highs here. So that leads me to believe that, Solana has the rocket fuel to go to higher prices here. And if Solana does go to higher prices here, I do see some, as I get rid of the move in there, I do see some sideways trading action at like $195 and $200 Solana. That could be an area where people that bought back in February and January, they might want to just sell their Solana just to break even at $195. So I think that should be your first take profit target on Solana. But then we also have some sideways trading action here about like $230, $240 Solana. So that could also be another take profit target for Solana. And then of course, after that, you want to see if Solana can actually get back to $295, which was the all-time high in January of 2025 for Solana. So let's see, we'll see if Solana is able to do that. But first, we got to get past 180 bucks, which is where the 200-day moving average is sitting at. Okay, $181 is the first area of resistance that we got to get past before we can become more bullish on Solana. And I see Beyond Illusion is in the chat. Nice to see you, buddy. Let me know if you got a request. Let's see. I think I want to take a look at the Sui, which is supposed to be the Solana killer, right? Sui's trying to compete against Solana, so let's take a look at what Sui's doing over here. We see that Sui is currently at $3.89, up 2.39% today. And let's see, Sui is actually above all its moving averages here. I have some previous chart work here. I saw this as a bull flag for Sui, and it just shows that, if you measure from this impulse candle here to the top of the impulse for Sui, and you take this flagpole and you move it to like where Sui's breaking out right now at $3.90, it's saying that you could see like a $4.95 Sui and probably in the near future here. And I'm also excited about Sui as well, because the stochastic RSI is also low on the daily time frame here. Okay, so SUI has the rocket fuel needed to go to higher prices here, and the regular RSI, okay, is showing like a modest 62.7. So you're not even overbought yet on SUI, so that's good to see. SUI was overbought back in the end of April, going into the first week of May, and that's why SUI needed to take like a chill pill, is what my dad would say. SUI needed to take a chill pill and just kind of like relax a little bit, let the oscillators cool down on the RSI and the stochastic RSI, and then you saw SUI shoot up again, like it did right after Cinco de Mayo on May 8th here, and then you know, SUI got overbought as it did, you know, in April, and it went sideways again. But now the RSI is low and the stochastic RSI is low, and guess what, guys? SUI's probably gonna do another impulse move up to higher prices, especially if Bitcoin is going to new all-time highs. You're probably gonna see SUI go to new all-time highs, because what was the highest price we saw for SUI? We saw like a $5.37 SUI back in January. I think that could happen again for SUI, because, you know, that little bull flag said we could at least get up to $4.95 in the near future. But using some Fibonacci analysis here, some previous Fibonacci analysis, I have measured, you know, where SUI got the bull run back in like September of 2024, going into the end of 2024, where it, you know, topped out at like $5.37. We do have a 1618 that says that SUI could get up to $8.19 in the near future, and then if you're even more bullish than that, you could see a $12, almost a $13 SUI in the near future here. But let's do a new Fibonacci analysis here to get, like, you know, some more current data as to like where SUI could possibly go. Let me go ahead and get rid of this bull flag. I feel like the bull flag is gonna play out here, and so we'll have to revisit this coin, see if it does. But let's go ahead and do another Fibonacci analysis, just measuring from, let's see, how high did we get? 381, 389 on SUI. Okay, so 389, which is like almost like where we're at right now. Actually, no, it was higher than that. No, I'm sorry, I read the wrong number. We saw SUI at $4.27 on May 11th. So measuring from $4 and basically 27 cents down to the levels that it was at back in April, where we saw like a $2 SUI. You know, we know 1618, we got a $5 SUI coming up on deck. Then this is saying the 2618 is saying that we got a $7 SUI possible in the future here. And then you know, we got some other levels here, 3618 saying that there could be a $9 SUI. But I think I like these numbers better. I think $12 SUI could be possible. Okay, if the previous data plays out. Yeah, that's almost like what, a 3x for SUI. JB is saying SUI held really well against Bitcoin, even going up while Bitcoin was down. Yeah, SUI is one of the stronger cryptocurrencies out there because they have a pretty good solid project. A lot of good developers on it. Some of the people that are working on SUI came from Facebook. If that gives you an idea as like what the potential might be for SUI. They had some really smart people working on that coin over there. Laser King says, I love SUI. SUI might be top dog next cycle. Yeah, I think SUI is going to be right up there with Solana and Ethereum and Bitcoin and probably XRP as well. Let's look at Ethereum and XRP, because I think you know, those coins are going to do pretty well if Bitcoin is going to all-time highs here. We're looking at Ethereum right now, currently trading at 25.32. Yeah, hopefully you guys, you should be able to see that number above my head. Up 2.2% today. Very nice, very nice. Better than being down 2%. We're in the daily time frame for Ethereum, and I got some previous Fibonacci analysis here. I measured, you know, where Ethereum could possibly, it topped out near like a 27. We saw a $2,739 Ethereum on Coinbase Exchange earlier this week on Tuesday. So I measured that as the top with my Fibonacci analysis, and then I brought the bottom over here to like we did see Ethereum at like $1,800 in the beginning of May, and my Fibonacci analysis here is saying that we could see a 1618 Fib extension level where Ethereum could be at $3,300 in the near future here. Okay, according to the Fibonacci analysis here. And then you got the 2618 saying that you could see a $4,200 Ethereum in the near future, and that'd be very interesting because that's like close to 420, right? You just add another number there, but pretty much almost 420 for Ethereum. I think we could see a $4,200 Ethereum later on in 2025. Let's see. Slush app is clean and easy. Could see Sui doing well. That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. So, just disclaimer, guys. I actually own a good amount of Sui myself, and I own a good amount of Solana. So if you feel like I'm talking up my bags, not really. It's just I think those are solid projects here. I think they're better than Ethereum. But I think Ethereum will also do well in this bull run if we continue going to higher prices here. And Mars like 420. Yeah, I think Ethereum could be at a $4,200 $4,200, which is almost like kind of like 420. I think Ethereum could get up there just based on the Fibonacci analysis here. Okay, you got the 2618 saying that it could be there. But most likely, we're going to see a $3,300 Ethereum in the near future. Okay? But, before we get too excited here, if Bitcoin does a rug pull, if we get some bad news, okay? If something bad happens in cryptocurrency world, or if something bad happens in the macroeconomic environment here, we could see Ethereum come down to the 0.618 level here at $2,300. Or we could see even a deeper retracement at 0.382, where we could see Ethereum at $2,100 Ethereum all over again. But I think if it does that, you should be putting in your buy orders in, because I don't think we'll see Ethereum go below $2,000 in the near future unless we get some really, really bad news out there. Like maybe, I don't know, if Russia starts attacking NATO or something, I don't know. Or China attacks Taiwan, maybe that a black swan would have to take us back down to Ethereum being lower than $2,000 here, in my opinion. Just my opinion, not financial advice. Okay, never financial advice. This is I'm just some guy on YouTube and TikTok, just been investing in cryptocurrencies since 2017. I know a thing or two about crypto, but I can't really tell you what to do with your money. Okay, just gotta get that disclaimer out there. Okay. All right. So I think we have a request here for Sushi Swap. We'll take a look at that. I kind of want to look at XRP after this, since I just talked about Ethereum. I want to make sure I got the high market cryptocurrencies out of the way. But yeah, we're gonna talk about XRP, and then you want to look at Sushi Swap. We can look at that. Sushi. I love me some sushi. All right. So here we go. Let's look at XRP. Interesting. No one requested it, but I feel like now's the time to talk about XRP. I actually been buying XRP myself. I see a lot of good things happening on XRP, at least on the moving averages. Okay. XRP is above its 200-day moving average, and also above the 50 and the 100 moving average. These lines here, the 100 moving average, this blue line is acting as current resistance for XRP at $2.40. But once we get past $2.40, which we're kind of at right now, we're at $2.41. If XRP continues being more bullish here, like we did see $2.45 on XRP earlier today. If XRP just continues doing what it's doing, it's gonna get up to like $3 in my opinion, and in a short amount of time. Okay, because now I have to actually turn on. I have to put some more indicators on here, but I'm gonna show you guys the VRVP here. Okay, I'll get rid of this for now, and I'll get rid of this one for now as well. I know this is a little bit kind of confusing to see all these colors on the charts here now, but just try to pay attention to the right side of the chart here. I'm gonna get rid of the movement averages to clean things up here as well. So we have the VRVP, which is the volume range visual profile, is these green and red bars here on the right side. Right now, XRP is above the POC, which is very important to be, okay? That's the point of control, okay? About 50% of people that bought XRP since like April have been buying at about $2.20 here for XRP. So we got some good support at that area. But what I want you guys to pay attention to is that, look at this, okay? XRP, right? XRP could get once it gets past $2.45 here, there's a drop in the volume on the VRVP. We could see $2.56 come up real quick here for XRP. But let me zoom out here a little bit more. We're gonna get some more data here, and you're gonna see how this VRVP starts to come into play here. And you're gonna see, like, now look at this, okay? Okay, so once we get past $2.45, the VRVP starts dropping. Okay, you might get a little bit of resistance at $2.50, but then the volume continues dropping even more, and more and more and more, and then you don't really get any more resistance until $3.13. You could see a $3 XRP really quick and really fast here, in my opinion, because there's not that much resistance. Okay, we did see XRP, go up from $2 and let's see, $2.17 on March 2nd here to $3 in one day. I think the same thing could happen once we get past $2.50 here. Once we get past like 250, 260 on XRP, $3 is going to come real quick. And then where could XRP go after that? I mean, if XRP continues being bullish, I do have some previous Fibonacci analysis here that says that, we could see a $5 XRP, with the 1618 saying that we could see a $5 XRP. And I think that's pretty reasonable. I think, if XRP goes to $5, a lot of people right now are going to be doubling their money in XRP. And there will be some sellers. There'll be some sellers at that level. Okay. But I think that's a good psychological target. And also, the Fibonacci is saying the same thing, that we could see a $5 XRP. All right, we'll move on to Sushi. So here we are, we're looking at Sushi, currently trading at 74 cents, up 7.3% today. So far, so good. Okay. Sushi, just using the VRVP, which is one of my favorite indicators here. You can see that Sushi is also going to have a drop in volume if we continue to go up to higher prices. You don't get significant resistance until 91 cents. About 91 cents is a good, take profit target, because 91 cents is where people were buying and selling Sushi back in February. So those people probably are going to sell just to break even. But once you get past 91 cents, then the volume drops even more, and you got some resistance at like $1.10, $1.20. But I think, you're not going to get significant resistance until you get to the value area high, this white line sitting at about $1.45. $1.45 is where a lot of people were buying and selling Sushi back in like December and January of 2024. So I think these people that, that can't handle it anymore, they've been in a loss, they've been in the red, and they just can't handle the losses anymore. They're going to start selling their Sushi at $1.45. So, you wouldn't be the only one that would be selling at that level. There's going to be a lot of resistance at $1.45 to like $1.60 here on Sushi. Okay. Let's see. Jeff is saying your XXRP ETF will do really well at this point. Yeah, I actually have some leverage longs. I have some leverage longs in Sushi. I'm sorry, XRP. I have leverage longs currently this weekend I'm in like a 20x leverage long on XRP right now because I think XRP is gonna do pretty well. Yeah. All right, so that's sushi. We just talked about sushi. I mean, do I need to give you downside targets on sushi? I feel as though if Bitcoin is going to continue going to higher prices here, then you're probably not going to see a downside here on sushi. But what I do like with sushi is that it looks like you're trying to form a higher low here. So maybe sushi goes right back up to where it was earlier this week, where we saw like 88-cent sushi. Yeah. Let's see what my Market Cipher B cheat sheet has to say about sushi. There was a red dot printed on Thursday saying that you should sell, but the good thing about a red dot is that a green dot should be coming up next. Okay, so maybe we get a green dot today or tomorrow saying that you should be buying sushi. Okay, and guys, don't forget to hit that like button, because when you hit that like button, you're actually helping yourself out. Because when I talk about sushi and these other cryptocurrencies you guys are requesting, people are going to see that on this live stream, because TikTok and YouTube, they're going to see all these people liking this video, this live stream, and they're going to send more people into this live stream, and then more people are going to know about sushi and XRP and Solana, all these requests you guys are making on me. They're going to see these cryptocurrencies, and then they're probably going to start buying whatever it is that you guys are requesting here. So when you hit that like button, you're actually helping yourself out. You're helping yourself make money. Okay? So yeah, if I have to throw it out there as a reason why you should, it's not just for me, it's also for you when you hit that like button. Wow, okay. Excuse me. Do I have any more requests out there besides sushi? Let's see, what's another cryptocurrency? Oh, let's take a look at virtuals. So virtuals looks like it's doing some big things here. Virtuals is a AI, artificial intelligence cryptocurrency. It's a play on AI agents. You guys can do some more research and learn more about AI agents, but I feel like that's the latest and greatest thing that's going to be coming into play here in 2025. And virtuals in the forefront of the AI agent world, and that's the reason why virtuals is up 19% today. Currently trading at $2.01. That's a nice green candle here that we're seeing on virtuals. Okay, let me just zoom in here a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better here. All right, so virtuals, I have done previous Fibonacci analysis here saying that, you know, the 1618 says that virtuals could get up to like $2.73. So that's almost like a 50% gain from where we are right now. All right, yeah. TikTok's wondering if I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here, TikTok. Thank you. We'll continue on with the live stream here. Oh, I see some requests coming in. We'll take a look at your requests here, guys. But let me finish up here on virtuals. We do have a 2618 fib that says that we could see a $4 virtuals in the near future here. And then even more ridiculous is like we could see a $5.44 virtuals. And if we get up to 544, I think that kind of competes where, yeah, we saw virtuals back in January at like $5.25. So, like, could this thing possibly, in this next bull run, get back to where it was in January, where we saw a $5 virtuals? And if you do that, I mean, you're basically more than doubling your money. You're going to get a 2x from where you are right now. If for some reason we do come to the downside here, I believe, you know, we should try to defend this low, this last higher low here at $1.27. Okay, but if Bitcoin is going to new all-time highs, this thing is going to go screaming up like a rocket. And to be honest with you, it has the fuel to do that, because if I look at the RSI, you got like a 63 on the RSI. This thing is not even overbought yet, and yet it's up 19% today. Okay, this thing is not even overbought. Okay, we don't even have a green dot yet, but we're probably gonna get a green dot on Market Cipher B saying that you should be buying. And then let's see, you got some sell pressure here on the MACD, but this is probably gonna flip green later on this week as we get more buying pressure. And then let's look at the stochastic RSI here real quick. Stochastic RSI is saying that, oh my god, like We're up 19% today, and this thing has low stochastics on the daily time frame here. So this thing is primed and ready to go to the moon, along with Bitcoin here. This thing is going to do very well with Bitcoin going to all-time highs. I think Bitcoin can go to all-time highs later on this week, guys. I think you're about to be pleasantly surprised if you're a cryptocurrency investor. But yeah, let's take a look at some of these other cryptos here. I got a few requests that came in. All right, appreciate the requests. Jeff, did you say you bought some virtual the other day? I actually got some virtual myself. Disclaimer. I'm a big believer in the AI agent space, and I think virtual is going to do pretty well as well. We have Thor Chain. Okay, you want me to look at Thor Chain? And then let's see. Algorand. I got Algorand in there. Okay. Algo. And then what else? Barra. Okay. Barra. All right, we'll work on those for now. Appreciate the requests. Alrighty. Let's see. Beyond Illusion saying that these weekends have been very bullish. Yeah, it seems like the weekends are like altcoin weekends now, and Bitcoin goes up during the weekdays because Wall Street is in business and open for business, and money from the ETFs start pouring into Bitcoin during the weekdays, and then I feel like cryptocurrency investors, retail like me and you, we start buying altcoins on the weekends because payday's on Friday. So we start buying altcoins on the weekends. That's the cycle that I see so far. But yeah, let's look at the Thor Chain. Get more with Thor. That's if I was marketing for them, that's what I would do. That's what I would say. That's my corny my joke there or whatever. Thor Chain. Get more with Thor Chain. All right, let's see. Thor Chain currently trading at 11 cents. Hopefully I got the right one for you there. All right, currently up 1.9% today. We did see Thor Chain was overbought. That's what I see right now. Back on May 10th here, but now the RSI cooled down. Okay, RSI is at 58 right now on Thor Chain. See that red number right there. So that's good to see. Okay, I think the oscillator has cooled down. MACD has a little bit of selling pressure. That's obvious to us because we know that Thor Chain has come down this week in price. And stochastic RSI is also low. So this thing is primed and ready to go to higher prices if Bitcoin is going to go take us to the moon here. This would be another rocket ship in the fleet of cryptocurrencies that are heading to the moon in 2025 here. Okay. That's my little joke there about crypto and space. All right. Let's see what the moving average is looking like. You are currently using the 200-day, this red line as support at 11 cents. And you got the 21 EMA that is going to try to push the price up. It's coming in probably to save the day here. When this white line crosses the red line, this is the white line is the 21 EMA. You're going to probably see some explosive price action to the upside here on Thor Chain. And if Thor Chain does go to higher prices here, where could it go next? I mean, I like to see where it's been to give me an idea as like where it could go next. So let's see where has it been. So oh shoot, I just messed up my chart there. No, I gotta refresh. Sorry about that. Reloading. Fix. Oh man. And I lost my Thor Chain. Damn it. All right, let's try that again. Sorry about that. I clicked on the wrong thing here. Anyways, going back to Thor Chain, I do see some sideways trading price action at 20 cents here. I think that would be the next resistance level for Thor Chain for it to try to beat before it goes to higher prices. Let's see. We did see it get as high In October of 2024, we saw this thing at 50 cents. Jesus, could this thing possibly be a 5x in the future? Wow. Let's go ahead and turn on the VRVP, see what the VRVP has to say. I see some high volume here at like 18, 20 cents. So yeah, like I said, 20 cents is probably going to be your near-term target for Thorchain if it continues being bullish here. And I don't really see that much volume after that until 30 cents. And then after that, maybe 40 cents. So this thing could be like a 2x, 3x, 4x, maybe even a 5x if it just gets back to where it was in October of 2024. And wow, okay. There's a crazy wick here. Oh, wow, this thing has been even higher than that. Wow. When this thing first started trading on CoinEx, this used to be $1.60. Oy vey, why did it get beaten down so bad? If you could tell me why it got beaten down so bad. I don't know much about this project, but if it was a solid project, I think it would not have been beaten down this bad, to be honest. So, I don't know. You could probably still make money on this coin, but why is it so low? I don't know. Why is it down like 90% when Bitcoin is like near all-time highs? That's what I would like to know. Anyways, we'll move on to Algorand. How's my accent sounding now? Algorand. Some people say I have a Boston accent. Some people say I have a New York accent. It's probably somewhere in between because I grew up in between those two cities. All right. We're looking at Algorand currently at 22 cents right now, up 1.9% today. And we got the chart zoomed out. This cryptocurrency has seen better days here back in December of 2024 when we saw this thing at 52 cents. Okay. And then also here in January, we saw this thing as high as 45 cents. So those are some high water marks to be paying attention to. Yeah. All right. I was just reading the comments there for a second. Okay. So let me go ahead and throw the movement averages, see what movement averages are doing here to Algorand. Looks like Algorand, as I zoom in using the moving averages here, looks like it's getting support off the green line. That's your 50-day moving average, sitting at like 21, almost 22 cents here. So you're hugging that as support right now. We would like to see a lift off to get to higher prices, and then I'm expecting some resistance at that 200-day, that red line at like 27 cents, 27.5 cents, and you also got the 100-day. Is also at 27 cents. So 27 cents is probably going to be your next resistance level where you might go a little bit sideways. It'd be very interesting if you just break past that and disregard that resistance. But I think there's going to be some people who are going to be selling, just using their moving averages here. They're going to be selling at 27 cents here. Now, if I go ahead and turn the VRVP, the VRVP is saying that, yeah, about 27, 28 cents is a high volume node here. So there's going to be a good amount of people selling at that price. But then once you get past 28 cents, you got a gap in the VRVP. And then I see, you could possibly get up to that white line at 36 cents before you bump your head up against resistance here on Algorand. But if you get past that value or your high, you are pushing your trade up to higher prices. You might see more resistance at 41 cents here. And then you might even see some resistance at 47 cents. And I think that was like the high water mark here back in January. This thing was at 49 cents. I think that should be your ultimate take profit target on Algorand. And you would basically be doubling your money at that point. All right. Jeff is asking me, let's see, Jeff is saying, oh, that's not it. Thorchain is what, at $2? Oh, okay, I put it in the wrong one. Thorchain is near $1.88. Okay. Let's take a look at Thorchain again. I'm sorry if I got the wrong one there. It helps if you guys know the ticker symbol. I guess I could just spell it out outright, Thorchain, and see what comes up. Alright, so this thing's called Rune USD. So yeah, so if you told me the ticker symbol, that actually helps. so I don't get confused here. But yeah, let's go ahead. Look at Thorchain again. I see it at $1.84 right now, up 9.3% today. And we're just doing a redo on Thorchain since I was looking at the wrong one, I guess. Thorchain currently, like I said, $1.84. You got some moving averages that look like they're going to provide resistance against you if you go to higher prices. You got the 100-day, this blue line, is sitting at $2.03. I think $2 is going to be a resistance level for Thorchain. But once you get past that, then you got the 200-day moving average, which is going to probably act as resistance at $3. So, you know, once you get past 2, then 3 is going to be the next take profit target. I'm not able to get VRVP data here. It's not giving me that option here. But I think, you know, looking at Thorchain right now, it looks like probably $4 is going to be where, basically $4 is where people were buying this thing at in September and October of last year. And those people probably want to get out and just break even again. So I think $4 is going to be and even $5 is going to be your next resistance. So yeah, this thing could possibly double. I think a lot of these altcoins are going to continue to double in price. I think almost every altcoin is going to at least get a 2x in the near future here. Mainly because they dropped 50% from their highs in November, December, January. So I think there's some money to be made in altcoins, to be honest. All right, so right now TikTok's saying that 80% of my live goal is completed. Thank you guys for helping me out on the live stream here on TikTok. Appreciate that. And my YouTube guys, let's see. Oh, we got a few more people in the YouTube. I see that. I see that you guys also matched the likes to the amount of people in the live stream, so I like that. I appreciate you guys hitting that like button. I feel like we should take a look at Bitcoin again, see what it's doing. Let's just take a look at Bitcoin real quick, and then we'll look at Barra chain. Let's see, Bitcoin. Oh, what are you doing, Bitcoin? Ooh, I'm gonna go in the 15-minute chart and let me get rid of the VRVP here. Bitcoin, what are you doing? We were like near 105,000. Oh, what is going on? Did some bad news come out? Bitcoin is dumping right now. It's at $104,400. We started off the stream and Bitcoin was at $105,900. So we lost about almost $1,500 since wow. Does anybody know if some bad news came out here? I mean, it's like a Sunday afternoon. What could have happened? Most of the markets are not really doing anything unless did somebody start a war or something? I mean, I don't want to laugh too hard, but did we get a black swan or something? Did somebody say something? I don't know what the news is saying here. I guess I could look at the news for you guys here. Let's see. Usually I like to just type in Trump news and see what comes up, because Trump is always saying something that's causing something here. All I see is like U.S. Treasury Secretary says that Walmart's going to eat some of the tariffs after Trump demand. All right. The Treasury Secretary is saying that Walmart will absorb some of the tariff costs. I don't really see anything else here. Maybe try Cointelegraph, so we get more Bitcoin specific news here. Let's see. I mean, crypto execs, Ethereum back to 3,000. I don't really see anything news related here. Let's take a look at coinmarketcap.com. Let's see how cryptocurrencies are doing out there. So yeah, Bitcoin dropped and Ethereum dropped with it. XRP. Yeah, JB, I don't see any news. Like, is there anything, any real reason. I know like they were talking about like the United States government's credit rating got dropped on Friday. That could cause interest rates to go up, which could cause the markets to go down. But like I would think like the futures market, when it opens at like 6 p.m. Eastern time, I would think like the futures market would probably tell us, you know, if we're dumping. But that's really yeah. So I guess we topped out here on Bitcoin at 105,950 this afternoon, and that 106K sell wall is still a real thing here. That red line is very crucial line to be above. They really did that to us, huh? They just dumped it down. I mean, Bitcoin was considered overbought on the 15-minute time frame here on the RSI. So maybe it does need to kind of chill out for a little bit here. But that's a really hard dump. It could be just as simple as one of these whales decided, all right, $106,000 is Bitcoin, time to sell. Close enough, 105,900. That's close enough, and I think maybe a whale just came in and dumped on us. Let's go ahead and look at Bear now. We're gonna look at Bear, I believe Bear chain. All right, so we'll go back to Bitcoin again before I end this live stream here. But we're now looking at Bear chain now. Currently trading at $3.14, up 2%. Even though we're getting a little bit of dump right now on crypto, a little bit of a correction. All right. Let's see. I'm looking at the daily time frame here on Berachain. And what do we got? I'm just trying to familiarize myself with the chart. It looks like we've seen better days here. When is this thing started trading in February on Coinbase? Maybe I can get a better chart. Let me see if I can find something with more data. Let's try it on Binance. Oh, wow. This thing is relatively new here, huh? Traded on Binance Exchange on February 6th here. But I could already tell you that there's some people here back in February that bought at like $6. Some people in March that bought at $6. That's probably going to be your where a lot of people are going to start selling on you is going to be $6, because anybody that bought in March and February and they want to get out of this coin, but they want to get out of it and just break even, that's the break even level. If I turn on the VRVP, it's probably going to agree with me. Yeah, you got the value area high. This white line is currently at $6.82. That's going to be where a good amount of people are going to sell, is when this thing gets up to like $6 or $7 here. Let me go ahead and get rid of the VRVP now. I don't really have much movement average data here, besides the 21 EMA. You're actually below the 21 EMA. Usually price likes to come back to that white line here, that 21 EMA. So because we're below it, I think this thing could possibly go back up and try to catch up to it. And the 21 EMA is at $3.51. So you want to see yourself get back up above that and start using it as support rather than resistance. RSI is relatively low, and stochastic RSI is also relatively low here. And yeah, all you're really doing is you're just hoping to create a higher low, and then this thing could shoot back up. And you know, if it shoots back up, maybe it can get back up to where it was on May 11th here at $4.75. You want to get higher than that and create a higher high, and then start creating higher lows and then another higher high. But yeah, this is interesting. Might be one to watch. You might be actually getting near the bottom here on Berachain at these levels here. All right. So that's Berachain. Let me see. Do I have you want me to look at Tau? Okay. And let's see. Let's see. Is there like an argument in the live stream here? All right, let's look at Tau, and then we'll go back to Bitcoin again. And I think I'm gonna end the live stream after that. Appreciate you guys coming out here and looking at the charts here with me. Tau on looking at Tau bit sensor on Binance Exchange, currently trading at $418.39, down 1.2% today. And you know, I do have a lot of information showing here on the charts here. What do I want to start off first? So let me clean things up here a little bit for you. All right. So just looking at the moving averages here, you have the 200-day moving average, this red line sitting at $408. You want to continue using that as support, but you eventually want to start going to higher prices if you're going to continue being bullish, obviously. Looks like this 200 and this 21 EMA are about to meet up with each other right at this 0.382 retracement at 411. So I think 411 is your number that you want to stay above. And then once this white line gets above the red line here, it's going to cause some explosive price action to the upside, which could be possible if Bitcoin goes up to higher prices and goes up to its all-time high. I think this thing is primed and ready to go. Looking at the RSI, you are at a modest 58.64 on the RSI. So I think you're primed and ready to go according to that. MACD, a little bit of selling candles here, but this thing could flip green again with some buying pressure. And then stochastic RSI is also pretty low right now on the daily time frame for Tau. So I think this thing is primed and ready to go to do another bull run here to higher prices. And if we do go to higher prices here, let me get rid of the moving averages here, clean things up a little bit. And if I turn the VRVP here, it's showing that you got a high volume node here at like roughly 450. But then once you get past that, you have a gap, and then the value area high looks like it's at 506. So I think a lot of people will start selling at 500 bucks on Tau. And then you got, you know, a good amount of volume after 500 all the way up until 570, and then it starts to drop off on the VRVP here. And I mean, maybe you might see a $600, $700. You might see a $700 Tau all over again, and you basically would almost double your money from where you are right now. That's interesting. Interesting. Is there a bearish case for Tau? What would, if Tau was to drop down here? Where could it drop? You got some support here. This blue line point of control is sitting at 370, so that should be where you would possibly want to put some buy orders in. You'd be getting in at the same price as these people did back in early May and late April here. So maybe you might be lucky to scoop up some Tau at 370 if this thing does drop down to that level. Yeah, I would probably put the buy orders in over there. You probably want nothing to do with Tau, and you probably want to put your stop loss at like 330. Because if you lose this support that you just created over here, you probably want nothing to do with this crypto. There's probably something wrong with it. And you could come down to the value area low, sitting at about 280. Yeah, 280. That's your downside target on Tau. Jeff, you're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed the analysis. Hey, Jeff, if you know anybody else that's interested in crypto, share my my live stream. Share my channel, the Meet Damien channel. Share it with your friends here. Okay. Let's take a look at the Meet Damien TikTok channel real quick. You guys can come join my 4,800 followers here. And you guys can see some more Meet Damien content where I do the, shorter videos here on my TikTok. And sometimes I do longer videos here. I also have a Meet Damien YouTube channel, and let's see if I click on that. Let's go to Meet Damien YouTube. You know, I'm still building up. I'm still trying to get some more subscribers on YouTube, but you know, if you come on the YouTube, you'll see my longer form content. You'll see all my videos that I make, YouTube shorts, right? Regular videos. I have like a tutorial video on how to read a candlestick chart. That should be interesting. It's about 14 minutes long, but you'll learn more about reading the charts on there. Sometimes I make funny videos about crypto, like the crypto bloodbath in February of 2025 here. So yeah, I got it all on the Meet Damien YouTube channel as well. Okay, and then of course, looks like I'm a little bit more popular on TikTok, so I got a good amount of following over there. And if you guys want to join and say, you know, if something happens to one of my if something happens to my TikTok channel or my YouTube channel, and you still want to stay in contact with me, then you know you could try finding me on the Meet Damien Twitter here. Okay, and we can still stay in touch. Okay, and you'll know when I go live. I usually post up when I'm going live on the Twitter page as well. And I also have a Meet Damien Discord. Let's get into that real quick here. And you'll also see me go live on Discord here. I post up the links on the Discord here. Yep, all that good stuff. All right, let's get back into Bitcoin, and let's see. I'm about to end the live stream here soon, but let's see if there's a bounce for Bitcoin here. We're on the daily time frame now. Let's get into the 15-minute chart one more time. I don't need the VRVP when I'm looking at the smaller time frames here, but I do like the moving averages when I'm in the smaller time frames. And it looks like Bitcoin, you know, as long as Bitcoin stays above the 200 moving average on the 50-minute time frame at $103,000, I'm feeling pretty good about Bitcoin continuing to be bullish here. If we lose that 200 moving average, if we lose 103,600, then I'll start to become more bearish on Bitcoin. Look, I just think, you know, somebody saw $105,000 on Bitcoin and they're like, you know what, that's a good time to for them to get out. They decided to sell their Bitcoin. Let's see what Bitcoin is doing on the 5-minute and 1 minute, because if Bitcoin is above the 200 moving average on the 1 minute time frame, then that usually leads to higher prices. And right now, you know, Bitcoin, this red line, this 200 moving average is sitting at $105,340. So we'll see if Bitcoin can climb its butt back up to $105,000 and continue being bullish here. I won't be bullish on Bitcoin for the day until we get at least we get above the 200 moving average on the 1 minute time frame, which is sitting at 105,300. Let's see what Bitcoin is looking like on the 5-minute time frame. The 5-minute time frame, Bitcoin looks like it got a bounce off the 200 moving average, so it is respecting the 200 moving average on the 5-minute time frame. And even looking on Market Cipher B over here, if I can pull that up here, you got a buy dot that came in, looks like 5 minutes ago, saying that you should be buying Bitcoin right now. This could have been just a buy the dip opportunity over here. Okay, somebody decided they wanted to get out, but you could get in after they sold and brought it down to $104,000 Bitcoin here. All right, it could also been a liquidity grab to flush out some of the futures day traders out there trading with leverage. And yeah, now that whoever is this probably means that someone's planning on buying more Bitcoin and they just wanted to get some cheaper prices here by selling a little bit of Bitcoin, giving people a scare, and then I bet you they're gonna start buying it up and pushing it past that 106K level. But that's good to see that we respected the 200 moving average on the 5-minute time frame. Go back to the 15-minute time frame. Yeah, we already looked at the 50-minute time frame, but We'll see if we can get back and revert to the 21 EMA at 105,174. Usually the price stays near the white line, and that's what we're hoping for Bitcoin to just get back up to that white line at 105,000. So we just want to see Bitcoin get up to $105,000. We'll go into the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, look at that. I mean, if you think like these moving averages don't mean crap, they mean crap to somebody else out there, because look at this 21 EMA being used as support at $104,000 on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, someone decided that was a good area to buy Bitcoin, and they respected the TA, the technical analysis here. All right, let's go into we'll go into the weekly time frame just to look at the bigger picture here on Bitcoin. It looks like Bitcoin is about to create the highest close. If we, let's see, the highest close for Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. I have $104,400 Bitcoin. Okay. And even last week was almost, yeah, we need to be above 104,400, which we currently are right now. And that's going to get some trading bots and some professional investors out there excited to buy Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is closing at its highest weekly close. So the momentum investors are going to start showing up. And then looking at the weekly time frame, the MACD, we did flip bullish here, and we got some green candles showing up. Could we see some more green? Because when we start getting green, it starts getting really good with Bitcoin, right? Look at that, where we topped out in December here at getting above $100,000 Bitcoin. It looks like the party's just about to get started here with Bitcoin going to higher prices, according to the MACD on the weekly time frame. And then let's see, what is stochastics? Stochastics are a little bit high, but they can stay high, because look at this. Back in like November and December, we had high stochastics on the stochastic RSI indicator here, and we stayed high for like weeks, for like almost months. So we could just be getting started with another bull run here on the weekly time frame. And then I also showed you guys here on the monthly time frame that the stochastic RSI is actually low. You had a red dot here back in March, but the beautiful thing about having a red dot on the market cipher B is that the next dot is going to be a green dot. And that could happen this month or next month. We could have a green dot saying that now is a good time to buy Bitcoin on the monthly time frame. Last time we had a green dot was November. And we all know what happened in November of 2024. Right? With that big giant green candle going up 37% on Bitcoin. Could we get another green dot for the month of June? Or even May right now? I'm very interested. I'm very interested to see if that's a possibility. But yeah. Bitcoin looks like it's recovering. Let's go back in the 5-minute time frame again. We are getting some green candles here. We respected the 200 MA, and we're just, looks like some buyers are coming in and saying, hey, you know what? You want to sell us Bitcoin below $105,000? I'll take that. And we're going to send it to all-time highs later on this week, hopefully. So guys, go ahead and hit that like button if you think we're going to all-time highs. And if you don't think we're going to all-time highs again, leave a comment. Tell us where you think we're going to go, if we're going to go lower. But yeah, I'm very excited, guys. I think we got some money-making days and weeks ahead of us after we just had a pretty good recovery in Bitcoin the past month here. And Jeff is saying he's never bearish on Bitcoin. You'll buy it anytime, any chance you get. Long-term holder. That's a good attitude to have. That's a winning attitude, in my opinion. And then, yeah, all right. Just reading some comments here. All right. I think that's going to be it, guys, for this live stream. Let's see. Let me just read the comments here in my YouTube channel. JB said it. You don't see any news. It could just be a liquidity sweep, taking out the longs. Yep. Yeah, I think that was a liquidity sweep. It might have been a whale that wanted to get out. And, you know, whales make big splashes, but you can buy the dip. in this case. And I think that's what's going on right now, but we'll see. We'll see. We really want to break past 106K, and then the fireworks should be lit off, and I think we'll see all-time highs again later on this week on Bitcoin. And I'm going to end the live stream on that note, okay, guys? Be on the lookout for my next live stream. I might go live maybe later on, like around dinner time tomorrow, on Monday afternoon or evening. I'll probably go live around that time, so it'll be a little bit later than I did today. But yeah, let's plan to see each other again for tomorrow. We'll see if Bitcoin is at all-time highs or threatening to go to all-time highs again. Okay, take care, guys.